Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're looking at 3 factors that define a card, 3 characteristics that I think about when purchasing a card. And before we do that, I want to sort of have a refresh on some of the terminology that I have often used in past videos. The idea of a playing days card, a flashback card, and then a legend card. So a playing days card is one that was released at the time of their playing. So this example, we can see a Cristiano Ronaldo 2004 Manchester United card. He obviously played for Manchester United at this time, so very much playing days card. Flashback is when it's still an active player, but the image shows of them earlier in their career compared to when the actual card was released. So in this example, it's a Messi card. As you can see, the image is of him in his Barcelona kit. He, of course, plays in the MLS. It's, I believe, from maybe a 2008-09 photo, but of course the card is from 2014-15, so it's a flashback card. And then we have a legend card, which, of course, a retired player compared to when the card was actually released. So in this case, a 2023 card for Henry is very much a legend card since he retired maybe at least 10 years ago. So we see more commonly playing days and legend cards. There's guys like Messi and Ronaldo that do still have a lot of these flashback cards that have been coming out recently. But it's good to, define these cards based on these 3 sort of principles. I, for one, always gravitate towards the playing days cards when it comes to these types of legends. But, at the end of the day, collect what you love, of course, but certainly prioritize playing days. And then I certainly view legend cards as being a bit more of a luxury type of purchase. So they're the characteristics there. As we move on into the 3 factors that define what I think should make a good purchase, and it's eye appeal, rarity, and importance. All 3, good fundamentals to work off. A lot of people nowadays just kind of focus really on eye appeal and rarity. Yeah, there may be a preference towards maybe a set that they like, which can have maybe an importance element to it. But eye appeal, let's take a look at this first example. Eye appeal is fantastic. Francesco Totti, great looking card. This is an insert from 2006 World Cup. Obviously, fairly attainable insert. So as far as rarity goes, it's not the hardest to find. So I'm giving it a tick for eye appeal. Rarity, not so much, but still a good one to pick up. You could certainly argue with pre-modern cards, there's that condition rarity element. So getting this in a PSA 10, for example, is fantastic. And then importance. And this is a massive tick for this card. It's playing days, it's a World Cup set, and it's the tournament that they won. So a lot of factors going towards this card make this one just an amazing pickup if you're a Totti fan, or Italian fan, a World Cup fan. But if all these sort of factors that I've mentioned, eye appeal, rarity, importance, if they can all be ticked, then that can really develop historical scarcity for these types of cards. And so let's take a look at another example. A more modern card. So again, great eye appeal on this one. I think it's a great image of Zidane. This is from 2024 Immaculate. So a great image of Zidane. It's obviously a parallel, meaning numbered only out of 25. And the base cards within this set are quite limited as well. So there's an additional rarity to this card. Manufactured rarity, but still quite rare. And then, of course, we go into importance. And for me, it's a bit of cross, because ultimately it's a legend card, meaning that there's more meaningful playing days cards that you could pick up, way better alternatives out there, whether that's any France 98 cards or World Cup 2002, World Cup 2006. There's plenty of other issues during his playing days that would be more meaningful. But this is a premium set. Immaculate is a very high-end set, so it's certainly collectible in that regard, but there's absolutely no limit to how many more Zidane cards will be in Panini releases moving forward. They've got the FIFA license. They've, could release international cards, many international sets each year, and Zidane, I'm sure, will certainly play a part in a lot of those. So there's no limit, and that That's why for me, when it comes to playing days, I always think of that as priority, legend as luxury. Still fun to collect both, but yeah, I like to have priority placed on the playing day stuff. So still a cool card to pick up, but yeah, some flaws there. Moving on, we've got an interesting card here, the 2003-04 Shootout card for Robert Pires. This is a game card, so maybe not as eye-appealing compared to others. Me personally, I quite like it, but I certainly get the maybe drawback for a lot of people. It's a fairly common card as well. You can pick these up in the UK quite easily, maybe a bit more difficult in other countries. So some drawbacks there on the card already, but importance really elevates this card to make it worth getting. It's playing days, and the fact that Pires doesn't actually have that many Arsenal cards makes this one a great card to get. It's Premier League license set, and of course, it's for their Invincible season, which is just brilliant. It's a meaningful card in a meaningful moment in this player's career. And of course, I've mentioned cards don't have to tick all the boxes to make it worth buying. This can be a quite cheap, accessible card, obviously, if you get it raw. And why not? It's an important card, and yeah, it doesn't have to tick all the boxes to make it worth getting. Moving on, we've got a more modern example here. Great ultra modern card, and as I say, even I like some ultra modern cards, not all. This one I do like because it's got great eye appeal as far as it being the gold prism. Gold, certainly a very desirable parallel in modern product. It's numbered to 10, so there's that manufactured rarity to it as well. And it certainly ticks the box in importance for me. We're talking about a star player. It's in a premium set with lineage. So Panini Prism was a constant for 5 or 6 years each year, and having that league license for the Premier League. So for me, ticks all the boxes as far as a modern card goes. Moving on, we've got a sticker for the first time. So again, same principles apply. Great eye appeal on this one, and this one, I think obviously people may gravitate more towards cards than stickers, but for me, it's cool to collect both. And this one here, a nice profile headshot of Steven Gerrard, a very young Gerrard. Of course, this is his rookie. And this one's actually harder to find than a lot of Merlin releases at the time. So that, along with the fact of course, you've got condition rarity when it comes to pre-modern stuff, and of course vintage as well, but there is that added rarity element, which makes this one a tick. And of course, importance. It's a rookie sticker. It's from a lineage release. Merlin Premier League stickers were very consistent throughout the years. So, ticks all the boxes for being a fantastic pickup. Other important firsts that one should consider, a rookie card. Obviously, this is a rookie sticker. Rookie card would be a nice pickup. Their first autograph or numbered card. Get a bit under the radar, this first numbered concept. I think with legend autos nowadays, they're releasing them year on year. I think the idea of owning their first autograph card or early autographs, particularly playing days, I think are definitely underrated. And yeah, that's my take there. And of course, first card at a new club. In the case of Lampard, his first card at Chelsea was in 2001-02. I certainly appreciate that card a lot. And then maybe their first national team card or first World Cup card or something. So there's definitely a lot of factors at play when it comes to that importance category, but I certainly view that as the best fundamental to work off. So I've discussed, some examples there. Ultimately, when it comes to people collecting nowadays, they gravitate towards the hobby story, and it's about chasing the hits of modern product. But what I like to do personally is to collect more of a footballing story, and that is one that encapsulates a player's career, really honing in on those playing days cards as much as possible. And I ask the question, if you were to show these two lots of 9 cards to a non-card collector, what would they prefer? 9 completely different cards, produced during that time, 2006-ish in this example, versus 9 cards that are completely the same, just different colored parallels. Same value, just based on preference for a non-card collector that really doesn't know anything about collecting, I honestly think that they would gravitate towards the 9 different cards. And, I just feel that maybe people could adopt that same mindset. And for me, I always think, people love to collect through nostalgia, but nostalgia should really inform collecting history. Going back and collecting some of the stuff that came out during their playing days. It's my take. And lastly, obviously, we know the hobby story. It's about chasing hits and mediocre cards. He's got does some great write-ups. I might put a link if I can on this video, but he describes the modern mindset as one that it's all about sort of understanding rarity. Modern tells you that serial numbers, parallels, case hits, they define rarity for you, and you don't need experience to know what's rare or what's special. So that's kind of my drawback when it comes to people that are fully focused in on modern. The barrier to collecting pre-modern then becomes, well, how rare it is. It's a base card, it's just as common as base cards nowadays, but that's just not the case at all. We know that pre-modern sets had different distributions, and there's certainly greater appeal towards base cards and inserts from pre-modern sets than today, because, let's face it, when it comes to modern product, it's easy to understand rarity. Pre-modern, not so much. So, almost people, obviously not watching this, but a lot of people are a bit lazy in the fact that they're not interested in or willing to do the research. Look at eBay sales, look at eBay available listings, look at pop reports, and just doing Google searches on a set, understanding if there's any sealed product available. That sort of research can then inform you of how rare a pre-modern type card is or a vintage card is. And I think if you're willing to do that research, it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it just as much as collecting and buying stuff, doing the research and being informed in the hobby, and ultimately becoming more educated in the space. So they're my sort of takes from this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you for the next one.